Hi, I'm Caroline Lilipali and this is the news at night. On tonight's show, the battle between Blur and Oasis. We have the comments from the winners and the losers. And in his first TV interview since he left Take That, Robbie talks about why he did it. Depeche Mode frontman David Gahan is resting comfortably in a Los Angeles hospital today after being admitted on Friday following a suspected suicide attempt. Official sources remain tight-lipped on the incident, saying only that he was hospitalized for, quote, a personal matter and that he should be out today or tomorrow. Blur have won the battle against Oasis for the #1 spot in the UK chart this week. The two bands released their new singles Country House and Roll With It last Monday, sparking a chart war that has not been seen since the days of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones in the 1960s.
It's just all got a bit out of hand, really. There's only going to be one winner. It's like the record shops are going to make the most money out of it or what have you, but I mean, it's not about, to us it's not about who's bigger than who or anything like that. It's about who's better, and we're always going to be better than them, and it doesn't even matter if they go in at #1 because, I mean, Engelbert Humperdinck kept Strawberry Fields Forever off the top of the charts, and people said that when the Beatles didn't go in at #1 that, you know, they were finished.
It's important that there is a sense of rivalry, but I don't think there is. And we're very, very different bands. My only thing for them is I think maybe they should have sort of taken a little more time before they put out their second album, because, you know, they haven't had any time to stop. I thought they need a holiday.
Watching afternoon repeats and the food he eats in the country. He takes a manner of pills and piles up analyst bills in the country.
And talking of albums, Blur have cheekily used the title of Oasis' forthcoming LP, What's the Story, Morning Glory, in the lyrics for Country House.
He's got morning glory and life's a different story. Everything's going Jack and Jory.
We were going to use theirs in ours, but you couldn't get away with putting Bag of Shits in your single, so we didn't bother.
Just not really going to say anything bad about them, because we're jolly good chaps. We believe in sportsmanship.
But despite the rivalry between the bands, Noel and Damon are joining forces to help Bosnian children. They, alongside Paul Weller, Portishead, Radiohead, the Stone Roses and lots of other British acts, will all record songs for the War Child charity album. The album will be released on the 9th of September. Robbie Williams spoke for the first time on television today about his split with Take That. On being asked why he left the group, Robbie said that he was more like heavy metal than the teddy bears of Take That.
It was like I was Lemmy from Motorhead, they were Sandy Pandies. I'm only joking. They rock and roll too, they come out, they party. They just drink chamomile tea, don't you, Mark?
Van Morrison, one of rock's more intellectual musicians, is considering giving lectures and seminars at the University of Ulster, Northern Ireland. His classes would cover creativity and ideology in the modern world and would be part of degree courses in humanities, politics and philosophy. The rise of Radiohead continues with the release of their latest single, Just.
It's all in a day's work for Radiohead, whose phenomenal success both in the UK and in the States means that their schedule is completely booked up for the foreseeable future. Their second album, The Bends, has cemented their reputation as melancholic pop craftsmen, delivering tales of love and loss with an overwhelming sense of desperation.
I suppose it's a desperate record, but I think it's a really, more than that, I think it's a really positive record. I always end up saying, I think it's a positive record simply because it got made. And it could have not got made. But it did, so there.
But I'm a creep.
The pressure was really on with this album. The success of Creep threatened to overshadow everything else. But they seem pleased with the fact that they haven't had a similar hit from The Bends.
I don't know, what I think is good about the Bends is what will happen, I hope, is that album will replace album, you know, because that's what we've always kind of been about.
Well, we haven't a screaming hit single of it,
Yeah.
which is fine. We got a screaming hit album instead, which we prefer. And we just, you know, I'd rather be known as the band that did the bands rather than the band that did Creep.
You do it to yourself, you do. And that's why Radiohead's do.
And Just, the new single, sees the band exploring classic Radiohead territory. But singer Tom still isn't quite sure if he knows what the song is all about.
It's about an old friend of mine, maybe, but maybe not. Most of it happened, maybe didn't. It's supposed to be really just shaking all the crap out of somebody else. So it's you know, stop blaming anybody else or anything else. You're the one responsible for screwing yourself up.
Teach you how to get to purest hell.
Having to make videos isn't quite the chore you would expect it to be for Radiohead, even though they seem to be such reluctant pop stars.
It can be really good fun. When it's a great idea, then it's great. You know, then you're making 3 or 4 minutes of film and enjoying it, and that's an immense privilege, really. Even if you are standing there making a prat out of yourself.
Making a prat of yourself and being the focus for so much attention. Well, you could be forgiven for being a bit self-conscious. But Tom's come up with some excellent tips on how to cope.
The perfect solution to that is shut your eyes. Always, under any circumstances.
You could say that lots of things in life, couldn't you? Whenever,
Yeah,
just
except
doing a
driving,
video.
of course.
Except driving, which would be bad, or flying a plane. That would be bad.
No, shutting your eyes. It's great. We play for an hour and a half, and I barely open my eyes for the whole show. It's great.
And that's it for tonight's News at Night, where Blur won round 1 of the battle against Oasis, and Robbie Williams talked about his split from Take That. On tomorrow's show, we see how the censorship of music in the United States is threatening free speech in Europe.
The people who advocate like the rating of records or like adult sections in music stores, they say that they're not advocating censorship, but they are, because what they're doing is they're putting a stigma on the music of adult material, or that it's being explicit material, and then it's like banished to the like back alley porno parlor.
And don't forget, you can find all today's stories on the MTV Tech service on your TV. Next up, Radiohead with their latest single, Just. Bye-bye.